What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking one comic book character, as we do every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Mead. Shaun, how's it going?
I'm going pretty good, Conor. Got that Friday feeling myself. And you told me something about Hero or Zero this week that has me intrigued and nervous, because for those that don't know, we've been doing this show a while, right?
Too long. We had our 4-year birthday party with all the listeners like last month.
We did indeed. That was class. There's another one coming up around Christmas time, by the way, if you want to jump in for that. But besides all of that, is that we've covered most comic book characters at this point, the good ones, at any rate. And a lot of those good ones we burned early, in a time where microphone quality is not what it is today.
You're telling me, as a brand new podcast and two younglings, we did not have good audio.
See, that's the thing. Most podcasts come out of the womb fully formed. We decided to work up to our greatness.
I decided to buy the worst microphone you can buy, and I was like, this'll do. It's grand.
We had to run it through like a cassette deck to get it to work. It was insane. But I suppose this is we're going to start revisiting, I suppose, a few of the older characters that people might not have even heard because they were done so early on in the podcast.
Yeah, and so what I've decided to do is I went back and I kind of checked some characters that I liked the report, but maybe it wasn't the best in terms of, I could sense we were full of energy. But the microphones, it sounded like I was eating that microphone, and that microphone was not there to begin with anyway. And so what we did was, we asked the listeners at the listener hangout, celebrating the birthday last month, if they'd like to hear some of the old episodes kind of redone in like a newer format, sounding a lot smoother. I can only hope. This would be the episode the audio fucks up, but we're hoping it doesn't.
Absolutely. Oh no, we're both recording in phone boxes today.
So the character I'm going to be doing this week is one of my favourite villains, or maybe anti-heroes in all of DC Comics, and that's Deathstroke, Shaun.
Oh man, yeah, because we did do Deathstroke early on, didn't we? Like, I think it was episode 12. I think it was. If you go back on the heroesforhire.ie website and you click on the episode, first of all, don't listen to it. The audio is terrible. Secondly, please God, no.
Our old intro is on it, and it's like a serious Batman the Animated Series intro that does not match the vibe. It's what I would say.
The tone of this show is a lot more silly boys than Batman the Animated Series.
Two morons. So, Shaun, I think we should get into this because I do have a lot to talk about. I love this character, and there was a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted to put in, but also I was like, at a certain point, I need to stop because
you need to edit a little bit.
I need to edit a little bit, so we're going to try and get through it. But Slade Wilson, of course, you may know the name Wade Wilson. Deadpool is, of course, based off of Deathstroke. It's actually
I believe it's the other way around, Carl.
I'm pretty sure the creator of Deadpool, Marvel brought him an idea of we want this character to be a mercenary. He has regenerative powers, and he goes around killing people. He's sometimes an anti-hero, and that's what we want. And he was like, you're literally just describing Deathstroke, that he actually is a character already. And they were like, figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Make him, I don't know, funny this time.
So Slade Joseph Wilson, created by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. Now, Wolfman and Perez are pretty much integral to everything to do with DC Comics in the 70s and 80s when it comes to Teen Titans and anything in that world.
All of the good stuff came from them, essentially.
Those two, basically ran Teen Titans, and they set up everything that we kind of know about it. Especially in the 80s, they were going hard. And so, new Teen Titans number 2 in December of 1980 is Deathstroke's first appearance. So he is a Teen Titans villain to start off with, but what I would say is he's probably more a Nightwing villain. No, actually, maybe a Dick Grayson villain than he is a Teen Titans or even Batman villain. I know he's in Batman Origins, the video game from a few years ago.
Very good fight. Very good fight in that game.
Oh, very annoying. It's a very annoying fight. But it's good when you beat it. You're like, oh, thank God. But the 300 times up to that, you're like, this is the worst thing in the world. So he's kind of known as part of that rogues gallery, but I would definitely say him and Dick Grayson are more so. They're just adversaries constantly.
Right, so like Batman has like the Joker and the Riddler, but Dick Grayson is like, nah, it's just Deathstroke fucking with him the whole time.
I think that that's how I would see it anyway. Now I don't have any, like, I just like Nightwing, but that's how I would see it. Maybe I'm biased. So Slade Wilson was 16 years old, Shaun, when he first enlisted in the United States Army, having lied about his age.
Classic Slade. Classic bad guy move. Lying.
Number 1, liar. Number 2, killing. They're the two things.
That's where I draw the line, personally.
He burned down an orphanage on his way there. Come on now.
Slade!
I'm starting to turn this guy. He soon showed talents and skills in guerrilla warfare far superior to that of any other soldier that had ever been put into the army, and was quickly promoted in rank time and time again.
So is there any reason for that, or he's just a naturally very gifted...
He's just a natural born killer.
Right, okay, he's just built for this. He's built different.
He's built different. He's rise and grind kind of attitude he has to life, Shaun. Him on LinkedIn is a lunatic. He's constantly rising and grinding.
My God.
So in the early 1960s, he met his captain, Adeline Kane, who was tasked with training young soldiers in new fighting techniques in anticipation for basically, like... This is in anticipation for Vietnam, or fighting in Vietnam. So what they were doing was, without sort of saying it, they had this whole special ops team that they were training on the side. So like they'd take 1 or 2, 3 or 4 soldiers away, and they would train them in special ops to be like, you're going to be the killers if we need someone behind the scenes.
Right, like the Captain America thing, is that like they pick like a very select few to be like, you get all the special stuff. Yeah,
it's like a super soldier thing, but without the powers. Like, they just picked them because they were good. And Kane was his teacher, and she was amazed at how skilled Slade was, basically immediately, and how quickly he adapted to modern conventions of warfare almost instantaneously whenever she taught him anything. She immediately, Shaun, fell in love with him. Of course she did.
I mean, who wouldn't? Look at the man. He's presumably 18 at this point.
I hope so. She's 36.
Oh, Lord.
Virgin on 16. It's a bit iffy, but what can you do? She immediately fell in love with him and realised that he was without doubt the most able-bodied soldier she had ever encountered in her life.
Oh, I bet he was. Oh, Jesus.
He's able-bodied in more ways than one. She offered to privately train Slade in guerrilla warfare.
Oh, I bet she did.
Okay, we're going to stop.
Sorry, yeah, that's a dumb bit.
But I bet she did. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And in less than a year, Slade mastered every fighting form presented to him and was soon promoted to the rank of lieutenant colonel. 6 months later, he and Adeline were married, and she became pregnant with their first child. It was at this time that the war in Vietnam began to escalate, and Slade was shipped overseas just basically to fight. Like, he was sent in undercover behind enemy lines to do some bad shit. And so at home, Adeline gave birth to their son Grant, and sometime later, Wilson volunteered for a medical experiment. So as someone high up in the army, Shaun, they come to Slade, they're like, you're the best we have.
Yeah. What if you were better?
What if it's you, but like, cool, like a better version of you, and it's not like just like a pyramid scheme. I'm talking injection, Slade. That's what I'm talking.
Talking big needle, probably. I want to say blue liquid inside.
Sometimes green. It really kind of depends.
Right. Well, it depends on what franchise.
So there's an American medical experiment designed to stimulate his adrenal gland in the hopes of increasing a soldier's ability to resist truth serums. So it's a roundabout way of them going, enemies have truth serums. You know a lot. We had this special program that we're going to inject you with this stuff. Truth serums will no longer work on you. So if you get captured, you won't say a word. Right,
okay. It makes sense that they would try and do that. I don't know if truth serum is actually a real thing, but yeah, let's go.
I certainly don't know if truth serum, anti-serum is a real thing.
It would be weird if the anti-serum existed, but truth serum didn't, though.
It's a lie serum. At that point, you just constantly lie. So the experiment did not go as expected, Shaun, as you can guess.
In an origin story.
And Slade fell into a coma, When he awakened, however, he discovered that he was now capable of using 90% of his brain capacity at any given moment. So he was already basically perfect as a human.
And like anything he was introduced to, he took it up straight away.
Yeah. There
was no real learning curve for him with any of this stuff.
Yes. He hasn't had like that moment of overcoming the odds, because he is the odds. So he can now use 90% of his brain capacity. His strength, durability and agility were increased to near superhuman levels also.
Busted. Absolutely busted.
So it's like Captain America, but he's now also a genius.
So the way comic book power scaling works is that like near superhuman is like, that's better than Olympian. Like it's beyond, it's basically beyond what a human can
what's
regularly
Cap? Cap
do.
is near superhuman in everything.
Yeah, I think Cap might be superhuman. I
think originally they write him as like he's like Olympic level everything, but like then you read it in the comic books or watch him doing stuff, and you're like, he's definitely superhuman in some way. Like I don't know if an Olympian can hold a helicopter. So
but like Daredevil would be near superhuman in agility.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like probably the same with Nightwing.
Yeah. However, this life was basically he had it good, right? He's been basically given this super soldier serum without them saying it was a super soldier serum. And what happens then, though, is a lifelong friend, Randolph Wintergreen. He was sent on a suicide mission. He was a fellow soldier, and he gets captured.
Not Wintergreen, exactly. When his superiors refuse to help, so Slade comes from, he's like, Wintergreen's been captured, we need to stop him. And they're like, it's only one soldier, it's okay, it's too dangerous to go in, we can't go in. Slade's like, no regular soldier could do this.
Slade pulls the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible job of, I'm going rogue as usual.
Has to go rogue in every film.
Is there a Mission Impossible movie where he doesn't go rogue?
No, I think he's rogue every time. Maybe the first one, but even then he's a wild card.
You need to set the precedent that he's not rogue before the rogueness stands out, I think.
Eventually there's a whole nation of rogue in that franchise.
That's true.
I do like, though, with Deathstroke, I do like that, like, his going rogue, it's for like his friend.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like he wants more power or anything like that.
So
like
he goes on an unauthorized solo mission to save his friend. And in the end, he does save Wintergreen, killing a whole bunch of people on his way there, because now he's just fucking supercharged super soldier. And he was but he was discharged from the army for disobeying orders. So they're like, you're out of here. You might be the greatest person we've ever had, but you're out of here, boy.
That's wild to discharge your super soldier.
So Slade decided this was for the best, as he was fed up with the army and its code of blind loyalty. He hated the blind loyalty that was there. So he left and turned towards hunting. And he became a world famous safari hunter, and great wealth followed. Which in
the 70s and 80s was fine.
Which was fine. And so a great wealth follows after. But Adeline always suspected, however, that Slade felt unfulfilled by doing this. So,
right.
By the way, I'm doing the pre-New 52 Slade origin. They've revamped it since, but just to let people know. So I know what you're probably thinking, Shaun. A big part of his personality is that Slade is missing an eye.
I was going to mention this because I've seen Arrow, so I know that happens.
You have seen Arrow, and there's always an arrow in the mask somewhere.
Yeah.
But a few years, that's actually a story in comic books. That's actually based off a story in comic books.
That's right.
Where Arrow actually puts an arrow in his eye. Green puts it in his right eye. So I think it's a good one. A few years later, a group of hired mercenaries break into Wilson's mansion and they kidnap young Joey, who is his son. So he's got Grant and he's got Joey, and Joey's only a baby at this stage. Or no, I think he's maybe not a full baby, but like he's obviously very young,
like a toddler.
He's not 40, right? Joey is, I can confirm,
he's under 40.
He's under 40 but over 0. He's in that age range. So young Joey gets kidnapped, and Adeline attempted to fight them off, but a gas grenade prevented her from saving her son. So when Slade comes home and he discovers what's happened, he knew he could not keep the truth from his wife any longer. Slade was not only a world-famous safari hunter, Shaun, he hadn't told his wife that he was also one of the world's deadliest and most sought-after assassins.
Oh, she thought he got all of this money and mansions from hunting elephant and shit.
Because they're full of money. It's like a video game. You kill one and coins come out. That's what she thought. But she was surprised to know that's not what happened. So he was called Deathstroke the Terminator, was his name.
Great name. Probably the coolest comic book name.
Yeah, you know what though? I might say something controversial. I think I like Deathstroke by itself better. The Terminator movie came out 4 years after this, which is why they got rid of the Terminator part of the name, because obviously then it was movie form, so you can't have the Terminator.
I like it as a moniker, like as is like
Deathstroke
that's what he's
the Terminator.
known as. Yeah, I think if the Terminator the movie hadn't come out, the name is even cooler.
I think so. Yeah, I think when they originally come up with it, they're like, we've nailed this. But then obviously, like the lads are looking across in the studio, they're like, the Terminator is actually a pretty cool name. Why don't we use that? So he promised Adlan that he would save their son. He's like, do you know who the fuck I am? I'm gonna go get him. And so together they fly to Tangier and squared off against a rival mercenary known as the Jackal. So the Jackal wanted Slade to reveal important information relating to a client, or else he would have his men kill Joey. So the Jackal has kidnapped Joey and has basically said, Slade, I'll give your child back, you just give me information on one of your clients. And if you don't give me that information, I'll have my men kill your child. That's the stakes.
It seems like a fairly even trade for any father, though.
Slade decided, in a very famous comic book panel, says, my word means
his bond.
My word is my bond. I can't give up my clients.
My God.
And like Adeline's looking at him like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He's going to kill the kid.
Just give him the client. And he's like, no, I can't. It's not worth it. So he was willing to but he was also, I think, banking on his reflexes being so fast that he can get to his son before the Jackal can give the order to kill Joey.
That's a big risk, though. Like, would you not just give a fake name at that point?
See, he's all other. He's all just like, gotta stick to the other code. I'm not doing that.
Okay,
and
right.
So unfortunately, though, Shaun, he doesn't give up any information. The Jackal gets pissed, declares Joey dying. He declares his men to kill Joey. Unfortunately, Slade did not get there in time, as Joey's throat was slashed by one of the criminals before Slade could prevent it, destroying Joey's vocal cords, which is why Joey can't speak in the comic books when he's Jericho.
Oh, yes, I remember this. I do remember this. Yeah. That's really cool. And he lives, but he now has to reconcile with the fact that his father was willing to let him die.
So after taking Joey to the hospital, Slade's wife, enraged at his endangerment of her son, tries to kill Slade. She's like, you could have fucking saved him, and now he can't talk for the rest of his life because of you. And she's like proper high up in the army as well, so she's a fucking killer herself.
She's properly trained. Like, she trained him.
Yeah, so she's like, I'm gonna kill you. So like, she tries to kill Slade by shooting him in the fucking head, but only managed to destroy his right eye. Afterwards, she shoots him straight through and destroys his right eye, but he survives. Okay? Yeah. But afterward, his confidence in his physical abilities was such that he made no secret of his impaired vision to anyone he killed. So that's why he wears the mask that has an eye covered up, because he's so confident that he still is going to kill you with one eye that he's like, it doesn't matter. I actually think it makes him be more dangerous. They're going to be more intimidated.
That's the thing. Like, he wears it as it's a threat. It's like, I only have one eye and I'm still better than you.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's actually how he loses his eye. His wife shoots him and he survives somehow the blow, but he loses that eye. Like, they can't get it back. So he's missing an eye, but he's still the world's greatest killer, even with one eye.
That's it. That's really, really cool. And it is it's an iconic mask as well, in terms of it's
like all the black side, and then it's split in half, and then the orange side is like the one with his eye open.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we've all seen the end of Batman vs Superman, Connor.
We've all seen Arrow season 2. What a great season. So the Teen Titans shot. Obviously,
Yes.
we're nearly 20 minutes in. I think we are 20 minutes in, and I still haven't even touched the Teen Titans, which, if anyone's read the Teen Titans, the Judas contract, Slade's very involved in that.
The animated series as well, Slade is a big presence.
Yeah, he's a big presence in that 2003 Teen Titans, before it became Teen Titans Go. So Slade has a long history as an enemy of the Teen Titans, beginning when his other son, Grant was a foe of the Teen Titans called Ravager. And Grant... he was basically fighting the Teen Titans, and he was physically enhanced to fulfill a contract to kill or capture the Teen Titans. But Grant's enhancement weren't as good as Slade's, in that they proved fatal and basically killed him.
Oh shit, so whatever they injected him with or whatever they put into him, it wasn't stable. And
it was the yellow stuff. It wasn't the green or the blue.
You don't want the yellow stuff,
It wasn't
Grant.
very good.
Get it together.
And so Slade agrees to take up the contract for his dying son. He's like, I'm going to fulfill the contract for you, son. Because
what an unfair fight as well, sending Slade Wilson against some teenagers.
As a result, he attacked the Titans continually, and that's why he comes onto their radar. Because Grant takes the contract to kill them, he dies from a fucked up enhancement, and Slade is like, I'm taking that contract off you, and I'm going to kill them because they're the reason you died, in his head.
Yeah, that's how he reconciles it. It's like, no, if they weren't there, someone wouldn't have hired you and enhanced you to kill them.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a whole host of situations where he introduces Tara, who is a 16-year-old who it's pretty heavily implied he's having a relationship with, and he puts her into the team as a spy, but he is defeated later and captured with the help of Joey, who joins the team as Jericho. So his other son becomes a hero known as Jericho, who we have covered in Hero Zero, but I might cover again because he's one of those characters that people probably don't know a lot about.
Yeah, and he was also done in the Bad Microphone days, I believe.
I think so, but there's so many characters to cover. And so Jericho's power is he can put his spirit into other people's bodies. That's his thing, right? And whatever happened, Slade gets put on trial for his crimes, but the trial is deliberately sabotaged by Garfield Logan, aka Beast Boy, because Garfield, in a moment of rage, is basically, I'm going to kill Slade myself. We're not going to put him on trial for what the stuff he's done to us.
Also, I love lasagna and hate Mondays.
That's what he says. He doubles up. He's green and orange, like the serum, Shaun, like the serums. However, when the two confront each other, so what's happened is Beast Boy is pissy because he thinks he's responsible for Tara's betrayal of the Titans.
Yeah.
He feels like he's the reason why she betrayed them. To be honest with you, Slade just, she's a spy. Slade sent her in anyway. She was going to betray them no matter what. But Garfield, he's a nice boy. So he's like, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the reason why everyone was in the team. People died in the team and people got hurt, and maybe that's on me. But when the two confront each other, Beast Boy finds himself unable to kill Slade because he's a nice boy and he can't fight it in him. Feeling some empathy for his grief, Slade explained his past with Tara and basically told him the whole plan. And Beast Boy realised there was nothing he could do. He was not to blame.
It was going to happen anyway. It
was going to happen no matter what, he was there or not. And the two actually parted ways on peaceful terms. Because Slade is like, I understand you're grieving and I understand you don't mean this, so we can part ways.
Yeah, I'm not going to take this as a fight to the death.
I'm not killing for free.
No one's paid me to kill you, so exactly. We're essentially friends.
And they've actually, I think they have become friends for a little bit. So months later, Slade encounters and actually comes to the assistance of the Titans. So he actually helps the Titans as well in certain storylines. When some of their members are abducted by the Wildebeest Society. And so Slade helps them track them down. And he discovers, Shaun, however, that the leader is none other than Jericho himself, who has turned bad.
Good old Jerry.
So he's like, my own son is now leading the bad guys and I'm the good guy somehow. What the fuck's this?
What a weird turn of events, readers.
That's actually, he looks at the camera like Deadpool. It was revealed that Jericho had been possessed by by the corrupted souls of Azareth. We're not going to get into it. Let's just move on. Gets corrupted by a soul.
Condense Azareth right now. Do it.
Who were using him to capture the Titans and using the Titans as physical hosts in order to survive. So they're capturing Titans and then taking over their bodies. That's in a really simple way of what the storyline is. Okay. However, during the transfer process, Jericho's true self resurfaces and he begs his father to kill him because he's like, the demons inside me, Dad, kill me right now.
Basically.
Stop this right now. I'm gonna keep killing Titans if you don't stop me right now. Man. To spare his son any more pain and save the remaining Titans, Slade is forced to drive a sword through his own son's heart because his son asks him to.
That's a metal hardcore moment.
This act still haunts him to this day.
Yeah, because I mean, number one, it's his son. Obviously, any death is going to affect him, but the fact that it was like a mercy kill and he was begging for it and he like reconciled that with himself, like that's gotta fuck with you.
However, there was one big moment that made him turn again on the Titans. So he was with the Titans, but then his relationship with his wife takes a turn because Slade underwent a process to gain regenerational powers, so he can regenerate parts of him because he thinks it's going to help him grow back his eye. So he's like, okay, I'll take it on. Like, the enhancements have worked so far, why not? And allowing him to survive any wound as long as his brain is intact. So, like, literally, like, it's not as strong as Wolverine level of regeneration, but it's pretty strong because, like, no other human would have it.
Yeah, it means like he can get a big gunshot or a big cut and he will heal from it. He won't just die straight away.
He does find out, though, that because he lost his eye before he gained his healing powers, he cannot grow it back. It has to be only afterwards.
Right, so it's kind of like he has this, like, there's like a snapshot taken of how he is once the serum goes in, and that's just, he's just kept at that.
And he can't change anything that's happened previously. That's just what
I really like that. I think that's class.
So that's why he's able to heal, but he also still has no eye, which I suppose in comic book ways kind of makes sense. I mean,
as much as any of this makes sense, yeah.
However, after he gains all these powers, Adeline gets into an accident and he has to give a blood transfusion to save her life.
Right.
Resulting in her gaining some similar powers. So she gets a little bit of the serum. It turns her insane, Shaun, as the alteration of her DNA basically drives her mental. And she starts back up Hive, who are like an evil group, in her insane state. And basically, he teams up with the Titans to be like, we gotta stop her. Like, she's got like my healing powers, and she's also just as much of a killer as I am.
Yeah. So, yeah, he sees the threat that is also the woman he loves. And
she also wants to wipe out all superhumans. So her plan is, because she's blaming them for both of her sons' deaths. So she's like, they're the reason my children are dead. I'm going to take all superheroes out, one by one. I
mean, she's not entirely wrong, is she?
Not technically, no. However, during the battle, her throat is slit, like Joey's, so it's part of the whole thing. And in a brief return of sanity, she begs Slade to kill her, requesting him to reunite her with, and this is her exact quote, our children. Reunite me with our children.
Fuck me.
So since her version of the healing power would not heal the wound, but allow her to live in spite of it, Deathstroke refuses. He's like, I'm not killing somebody else. I'm not killing anyone else. I'm like in my part of my family. I just won't do it.
Now, if you pay me.
But Starfire, on the other hand, is behind him, and in a moment of, I suppose, like, act of mercy, she disintegrates Adeline in front of Deathstroke, like using her powers.
I get, right? I get where the mercy comes from, but you could have picked a better moment.
So this is the turning point, as Deathstroke renounces all ties with the Titans, and is just like, you just killed my fucking wife and mother of my children. I'm going to spend the rest of my life killing ye. Which makes sense. His daughter now, Rose Wilson, like she's the new Ravager, and he's had her like infiltrate the team and then try and turn them all evil again. Although Ravager's now kind of good, so we're not going to get into that.
Your classic comic book story, like.
Classic. It's a whole. If I see one of these is like I could talk for an hour about Slade because he's been involved in so many really historical stories, but picking and choosing. We're picking and choosing here. One final thing I wanted to touch on was a little story known as Identity Crisis. And also, just to really have a serious metal bit, Rose Wilson, his daughter, ripped her own eye out in an attempt to prove to her father that she was just like him. Okay, so we're going to move on.
That's fucked. That's entirely fucked.
Because he's been injecting her with serum for years and years and driving her insane. Okay, cool.
Father of the Year.
He also put kryptonite in her eye so she would slowly die over years and years and years and years. Okay, yeah.
Oh no, Slade.
Slade's not a nice man. During Identity Crisis, one of my favourite moments from Deathstroke happens as he's enlisted as a bodyguard for Dr. Light, who is being chased by the Justice League. So Dr. Light's like, I'm being chased, Justice League are coming for me. He gives Deathstroke money and is like, protect me at all costs.
Okay, and Deathstroke's like, fine, absolutely grand.
In the ensuing battle, to give you an idea of the power levels of Deathstroke, who remember is just a man that then got injected with enhanced serum, Deathstroke nearly beat the team of Elongated Man, The Flash, Zatanna, Hawkman, Green Arrow, Black Canary, The Atom and Green Lantern all at the same time.
Holy shit. That seems impossible though.
He systematically took out every member except for Green Lantern, whom he had the potential to disable through trying to basically take the ring off him, using his own willpower. So Slade's like, I've got the willpower to hold the ring. I'm going to take the ring off him, put it on myself.
Fuck, he's just so confident in himself and his abilities that he's willing himself to win.
Well, like he's after taking out 5 or 6 of them at this point. He's like, oh, you're the last one left. 5 or 6
A-listers, like
he took out the Flash. Fortunately, before the outcome of the conflict of this conflict with Green Lantern ended, Green Arrow stuck an arrow in Deathstroke's right eye socket, enraging him. Slade went ballistic, lost his cool, and began to beat the fucking ever-loving piss out of Green Arrow, just non-stop. This gave everybody else in the team the time to wake back up, to get back to their feet, and they all just fucking dogpiled on top of him to fucking get
They
him
also
down.
start kicking the shit out of Green Arrow.
I never liked him either. He's not that nice. So they basically all, the whole team tackle Deathstroke to the ground, and Dr. Light has to use his powers to help the two of them escape. But I just think it's so fucking cool that him by himself, he gets paid. He's like, yeah, I'll take out the whole Justice League for you. Who did he take it out? The Justice League? Yeah, fine, I'll do that.
Yeah, imagine what and he could do that at any time, presumably. But he just doesn't because he's not being paid to do it.
He's a founding member of Lex Luthor's Secret Society of Supervillains as well. There's a small little fact.
On the ground floor with Lex.
True. And so powers and abilities. Artificially enhanced physiology. So he's got enhanced intellect. Obviously 90% of his brain working at any given moment is more than anybody ever in the history of the world. He's got enhanced reflexes, enhanced strength, enhanced stamina, enhanced agility, enhanced senses. They've all been basically, he's got dead what am I thinking of? Matt Murdock.
Daredevil.
I was thinking Dead Devil. I was like, that's not a guy. Daredevil. Because Deadpool's on my mind. Daredevil. He's basically got Daredevil's agility, or his senses, but with also all the other senses.
That's insane. That in itself is too much.
Enhanced hearing, enhanced sense of smell, so obviously all the Daredevil stuff. Enhanced vision, not the Daredevil thing, but the next level above.
So his 50% of vision that he currently has is equal to maybe 200% of a regular human's vision.
Yes, it is, yeah. Enhanced durability, accelerated healing, enhanced immunity, decelerated aging, which is why he's been the same age for years and years and years, nigh immortality, basically he's virtually immortal because of his regenerative capabilities.
Because he keeps going back to that, that 35-year-old framework that he set up.
No, my favourite Slade though is like grey in the temples, like grey hair Slade. It's just like
older, experienced kind of.
Oh, and he's just like the most confident man in every single room. He's like, "What do you need me to do? Like, I can literally take out anyone. Who do you want dead?" He's got tactical analysis, intimidation, leadership, martial arts. He's an expert in basically every single fighting ability. He's able to defeat Batman, Nightwing, anyone in hand-to-hand combat. He even managed to hold his own against Bronze Tiger, who's probably top 2 in DC for fighting.
Yeah. We've talked about Bronze Tiger before, haven't we?
I think so, yeah. Weaponry, swordsmanship, marksmanship, stealth, meditation, escapology. All of, think of Batman, but with 90% of his brain, and also no rules.
Will kill, will use
will
gun.
Kill. So that's Deathstroke, Shaun, an absolutely amazing villain that I think never gets really used because he's too good.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to scale an opponent for him, but I think I would watch the way Sony are doing all their anti-hero origin movies. Yeah. I would watch a Deathstroke one in a heartbeat.
I think he's much more interesting version of Craven.
Yeah. So
the Craven they're doing, but also I understand you're a Spider-Man lover, so I would say the Craven they're doing a million times better. But I think his character lends itself more to an individual movie than Craven's does.
That's it, exactly. Yeah, Craven is really good when he is like a foil to Spider-Man, but Deathstroke stands on his own really, really well and could carry his own story.
He's incredibly fucked. He's so evil, but also at the same time he has a code. So he's he'll try and kill his own daughter slowly over 50 years. But then if you're kill him, he's like, are you going to pay me? No. Well, then I'm not going to kill whoever it is.
That would be wrong, sir.
Yeah, that's wrong. Him v Batman is the main fight because that's why it works. They're they're very similar levels in power. And I think by proxy, I think Nightwing kind of gets thrown in because Nightwing is has all of Batman's strengths, but at the same time also has the ability that he'll talk completely different to Deathstroke. They're complete opposite ends of ideology.
Yeah, but arguably if you put Deathstroke in charge of eliminating crime in Gotham, it would be much more successful.
Oh, he would kill them all, one by one.
There would be no crime. He's like the Punisher mixed with Daredevil, mixed with the Winter Soldier.
But then at the same time, if one of the criminals paid him enough, he would probably just let them do whatever they want.
Yeah, that's true, man. But that's the thing, is that he's interesting because he has layers and because he has that code that he follows and makes sense to him. And he's just stuck with that. And he's also, I love when they write in a way in comics to just make them the same all the time. It's you don't have to do the old man Deathstroke story. You don't have to do.
No, he just stays the same, and he's always just the best. I know, Shaun, it's a running gag. You haven't seen Young Justice. Really good in Young Justice as well. They do him really well because every time he walks in, he's just these fucking kids, man. What do you need to do? Kill them all. I'll kill them all.
I'll murder children. I don't care.
I don't give a fuck. So that's my report on Deathstroke, Shaun.
Really good report. Very good to revisit the character. Hope everyone enjoyed that. Would you like me to take us out, Conor?
Yes, why not?
Thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode of Hero or Zero. We will be back on Monday with Movie Mondays, Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, and next Friday with another episode of Hero or Zero. Big thank you to everyone over on the Patreon who continues to support the show. Patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is in the description, and you get all the movie and TV show reviews. Everything we've ever done is up there. Other ways to support the show is the merch store link below, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter's @HeroesForHirePod. The 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
I think that's about it, Conor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lorraine.
I've been Shaun Meehan.
We'll still see you all next weekend.
Bye.